kind of out of my hands at the moment. And I think I've been so overwhelmed with it for so long, watching it for so long. And also realising that, we just can't touch it. We just can't touch it, any of this. It's so walled off, going behind so many bullshit stories, carbon zero stories and all the rest of it. And friends that are now getting potentially sick from the what. And we just can't talk about it. The kind of like the whole, the problems in this earth just seem so simple to kind of look at, and yet we just walled off behind these walls.
Wow. Other people are seeing this too. New blue planet X knows. People are noticing this. So there was a Dave Dobbs. Okay. This is
Hey, lovely people. Sorry about that.
I'll show you where you can go and watch it. This is predictions and models he's been making. When's the last time? Just trying to have a look. Deception. The biggest planetary flyby for 18,000 years is inbound 2 months ago. 2 months ago. That's quite a big object between us and the sun. 2 months ago. Why the hell did I miss all this? Wow. The middle of 2 major flybys. This is what you see. So many old people I used to follow a long time ago. See, the object has closely ecliptic. It's extremely like many people are extremely talented. So 2 hours ago today, or 3 hours ago, the Icelandic volcano and Black Rock. So he's making reference to that. A very big twin tall object is about to pass Earth. Okay. I'm not going to show this, but I'll play the audio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Dave Dobbs here. It's Friday, the 15th of July, 2022. And there seems to be lots and lots going on, doesn't there? We've got a million different stories to choose from. No one really knows what's about to unfold or how this is all going to go. But before we get going, before I talk about the crop circle, I posted it earlier. I posted it before I went to bed last night, just so you can look at it, just so you can kind of, it's been probably the best part of 3 weeks from the point it was discovered to the point it was actually recorded. And it was a friend of, it's a friend of my partner whose handle I put in the description. I can't remember what the exact handle it is, but it's not his name. It's the handle he uses because he's kind of, he's a bit of a, I don't know if they call them quad pilots, Anyway, that's gone up there. So I thought I'd show you a few of these recordings. Before we get going, let's just cut to the chase of what this is really all about, because we're going to come to What are we going to come to? Is it, let's just share this screen. This was a shot just posted by, this was posted on 14th of July. So this was yesterday by Planet X Hunter. I don't want to play the video, but this is the object in question. In my opinion, I might have this completely wrong. You know, you're going to have to go and explore this video because I haven't got permissions to run it, and I won't run it or anything else like that. It's an incredible bit of some incredible shots there. But that, in my opinion, and then of course we've got Mr. MBB 333, who just posted that image, and that was posted also on the 14th of July yesterday. And you can just see the side of this object. And so just before we keep, we're also seeing here, just going to come over to Brandon Corey Nagley's shot. This was posted today, this morning, showing debris coming in the daylight sky.
Yeah.
Guys, you know, this is really, this seems to be really happening at the moment. Where do I see this? Well, let me just stop share one shake, and now just go over to where I see all of this right now. So we're just going to come to, you know this one so well, that's from 262. Remember, 3 days of darkness, earthquakes, all across Asia, all across Europe, all across Africa. That's exactly 1,800 years. This is what we're coming to, right? This is what we're coming back to right now. And let's just go forward to 1,000 years after Christ, and we're almost opposing. And now let's come to Galileo's time. You know, 1588. You had the massive storm. You know, the Armada was setting sail. They believed they were going to bring retribution for originally breaking away from the Catholic Church. This was a revolution against the Catholic Church, or maybe this was a very different story. Maybe we've all been maybe we've all massively misinterpreted what actually happened in the days of what was the disillusionment of the monasteries in Henry VIII's time that led to this point where this massive Spanish Armada, greatest fleet to ever set sail, even in today's term, comes in 1588. And what month does it sail in, believing the gods on its side at that critical time? It comes in July. So the ship sets sail, and that's when this massive tempest just comes in. Surely the inspiration of the works of Shakespeare, especially the first play, The Tempest. Then we go 84 years later, we have kind of like, we're getting closer. This is kind of where we are now, but now we're the same thing. We're really closer. But this is Isaac Newton's time. This is William Herschel's time. This is kind of Neptune time. Then we're coming around to Pluto, 1930. And we come up to 1940, 1939, Carlos Rada's massive prediction where he says on the 20th of January 1939, a massive earthquake's going to occur in Chile, and everyone should be really prepared because it's going to be a massive thing. You know, all we're doing is going to war and running that narrative. Sure as eggs are eggs, he's right on the money. Massive earthquake occurs, and now we come to our time. You know, I've been watching this thing coming around every kind of 12 years, the largest objects that come around, and then we see this grand cycle. And to try and bring all of these players together, we're going to remember 2011, 2010, 2011. You've got objects. Some of the objects are coming in and coming this side of the sun, not looping around, but some of these objects are now coming all around. And now we have 3 objects in question. These same 2 objects that caused 2010, 2011 are coming back round to do their big cross now in 2022. There coming, and then straight after is this big one here that I've got called Hydra. And so we're experiencing these, basically one of the twins and the big blue one that I've called Hydra, that sometimes I call, I accidentally called it Hydra because this model was a work in progress to try and understand what happens when these objects pass through the ecliptic plane. That's what happened in 1930. The system, it came up, it came under, and then over, and then round, and then it's crossing back here. Except that now we understand. My understanding is that this system here, the Pluto system, is one on the actual fixed ecliptic plane, and we are the one on the ecliptic. And that's been the big transition of my message in all of this. And so let's now stop that share, and look at this crop circle again, but putting it in proportion. So we're going to go to what is it? That one. Let's try that one. Yeah, so what I've done here is there's the crop circle from up above, and it's very difficult for you to work out. If I just bring it over here, you'll see this juncture here, this kind of dogleg juncture. You'll see it. Can you see how this main road cuts on through, and this one comes down and then continues? It's a really weird dogleg sort of juncture. But it's so interesting that the crop circle happened right there. Remember, this is like 3 weeks after the crop circle was discovered. It was we finally got it zoomed. I didn't really hear about it until I didn't hear about it, I think, until after Glastonbury. But and it looks kind of out of a line a little bit. But if I just let's just put it in proportions to what we're seeing. So I've got the Ordnance Survey. That's so north is straight up. So I've got the Ordnance Survey there, or Google, and I've just laid that over the top and put the junctures, remembering that this, well, I don't know if the exact angles are exactly above on either shot. So I've just tried to do the best I can. But, and then if I just keep it going there is probably the best way I can show you that. And these look random apart, don't they? So these kind of look, yeah, they look kind of random apart, but this,
Okay, so let's have a look. Very big twin objects about to pass Earth. Just playing the audio.
this line here looks, I mean, remember, this might have distorted because of the 3 weeks. We could have moved around a little bit, people walking inside of it, just changing little bits of it here and there could have massively affected, people walking up and down these corridors, just cutting across here or something like that. But what's quite interesting is that this, even though they all seem unequally kind of like positioned, it's almost like that is meant to align with that one. That one is meant to align with that one. And that one's meant to align with that one. Have I got that one, that one, that one, and that one? And then this. Now, isn't that interesting that the ecliptic line for us, from that perspective, looking down, you would have thought would have been along that way? It's difficult to say really what the message is, but it's quite interesting that the line, my east and west line would have been that way, and the line is just below, like, and it's all the same. They seem to move around. So I'm going to come back to Google and move. that out of the way. And come back to this shot, which is the video I made is well, the fabled planet X was Pluto all along, and I show you our sun and Pluto orbiting around that in motion with this kind of arrow here and bring it across. And if you carried on zooming right to those two were massive, you would basically have that. Obviously, this is moving that way, but potentially I should show you it moving.
Alright, I'll show this on the one who wants to know. Just briefly. Dave Dobbs, I forgot all about his mathematical models. Planet X, whatever you want to call it, the radiation is really strong tonight. Right. So, this is Dave Jobs, a master story that comes with his flyby. It's not without reason, as it's looming war and all the rest threatening to bring the financial meltdown. It's all a master story to lower our vibrations at the doorway to a much higher vibration available to humanity now. Remember, this is two flybus BUS, one coming very soon, and the next barely a month later. By calculations as of right now, really good luck, or God luck, it says. Is it? Yeah. And big golden rings of light and projection, keep inviting the protection in. So, they've known this for a long time. They have the chemical spray in the skies. The frequencies are very strong with the vibrations of the 5G on top, and the inventions of the transhumanism agenda with the technology part too, as well. There is, I did find, if I can find it again. Yeah, I did find the book again. The Illuminati military takedown. This is not just about USA. And PDF, let's see if I can re-download it again. It's not separate, all of this, what's going on. It's all interlinked. And it's all digitalization of things and automated systems and digital currency. They know exactly why they need to bring in all this. Because if you've got the pole shift happening on top, that's going to create the earth plate shifting and the axis of the north and south pole changing position. So the radiation effect of this on earth, they have to spray chemicals and try and protect people down below on earth with the it's not even a natural blue sky anymore. But this is just a brief PDF from the Illuminati and the occultists from a long time ago. And this is just all part of the bigger picture where, you know, bringing about what they are right now, what's going on in the world now. This is just a small PDF file. I've got to run down myself. So let's find my history. I found I did find I can't remember now. So let's go out of this. I can't find it now. Golden Age. GAIA. It's a blog. Okay. But let's go back to where to watch this video. Let's go back to where it was. Dave Dobbs. And he's more than money's. You've got Steve Spaulding in America. I'm just too tired at the moment to do much myself. Waking up with bad chest infection. Let's see if I've got it. Oh no, it's not responding. I'll just get all the hacking still, so there's nothing new on there. See, we'll go back on this page. I'm just gonna wait for it. Yeah. There's all the usual BS going on, hacking and the internet and stuff. And the radiation effects. This makes me extremely tired. Right. As you can see, they're just doing the stupid demonic things. And that brings me to financial point, because in England things are changing again. But here you go, we're back. So let's get up to the comment section. So this is Steve Dobbs. Right. I think it's quite important to have a nose around. It's got a few objects with it, same system. And if you want to read the comments, you can see there's people are noticing quite a few. Now, what I've also noticed, so let's see Dobbs' video. I'm trying to go back to him. Right, I have to go back this way, right? Oh, it's hacking to me, so I'll be that long. Have to rest. Now, what do you want to show on top? Because there's links together. Nelson, 1968, has been documenting this. Now in England, latter part of this weekend, next week's get very hot again. Alright, in my opinion, it's not just with the frequencies you've got. Okay, if you go through this gentleman's website, and it's years ahead of his time. You go transhumanism, the new race, NK Ultra out of the mind. It's linked together, you know, with the use of the brain. I heard someone else's stream yesterday that the first to upload, they're ready to upload the brain to supercomputer. Well, they've been doing this for a long time, testing on innocent individuals. I didn't catch the rest of it, so I can't quote who he meant with that. The elite do not want to hear. Okay. Now, the NK Ultra 1950s is the first documents I've seen. And they've been experimenting on the prison wars in the Second World War. But it never ended, so the declassification of CIA documents shows the 1970s, but it still never ended. It's just got more advanced. And it's more to do, like, you see the television movies, and this is what the channel's about. He decodes the Matrix music films, and he puts this really talented information into it. It's very important to look at how and symbolisms are used and why. Now, you got his music, then these are the videos, the Luciferian, Lucifer through the looking glass. These programs, excuse me, are always, I mean, you've got a video wall where you can go and watch documentaries and some of the breakdowns, what he does. It's linked. It's all linked. The semi corona mass ejections of the sun, right? These global elites back in history, you need to look at the biblical side too. It's always been planning to live, want to live forever. Okay, I believe they can be guarded by technology, you know, mixing human with machine. And this gentleman's videos, it breaks it down. It's free to sign up for membership. So you can see how artificial intelligence, you know, is going to take over and be its own. And then you've got the Masonic world. Are you ready for it? You see the parallels, and then controlling of the weather, the geo, you know, the heart, CERN. He breaks it all down. It's not just innocent Freemasonry, by the way. It's fallen angels, NASA lies. And it just breaks it down. So the concept of that entwine with the flybys of Planet X, Negro, Nimbus, and Pole Shift. And there's another gentleman separately called Team Widderton, Geoengineering Watchdog. It tells it what they're spraying in the skies, how they're making humans breathing in the nano, you know, what they're spraying above, and how we're being changed within our bodies with the toxicity on top. So I thought, I'll just show that, and then we'll go back. So what I did want to show is how convenient today Scottish Weathercam, that's been closed down for 2 odd weeks, maybe more, is now, you know, I think I could do it on this page. No, let's have a look. And if you're not bothered, then fine. If you're not bothered about your soul and your human essence of oneself, you know, being transformed into this advancement technology, then it's your business, it's your decision, free will, and all that stuff. So I might not go to it, so I'll stop sharing for a minute. Might be able to do it this way. So. And there's another gentleman. Yeah, they just messed about on the internet, won't they? Yeah. I'll play this in the background instead. Steve Dobbs. Oh, here we go. Helicopter harassment now. So yeah, times we're living in. The hacking internet, so I'll just do the audio.
Obviously, this is moving that way, but potentially I should show you it moving kind of that way. That should be kind of tilted 45 degrees to get a better kind of like to get a better. No, well, no, maybe not. I mean, you know, it's a. But there it is. You know, the three primary players, and the crop circle does kind of give you that idea of those three primary players with these different objects, and we've seen our planets kicked onto a kind of an ecliptic, and its planets kind of like this bigger object kind of change, have this perpetually changing as the two pass through each other. But isn't it interesting that I discovered that in 2020 when this was discovered, as far as I know, in Mexico. 20, and I discovered this image. I'm looking at this thinking, oh my god, this is a sign of how our solar system would be depicted in terms of giving it flight and energy and movement, empowering your idea, energetic state. Fixed. We don't have a fixed place in the universe. With energy moving, and I discover this, and I show my girlfriend Ray, and she's just like, because she thinks she's seen it before. She thinks it's the crop circle. She went in 2009, and then we get the two up, and it's just like, oh my god, it's the same thing, and it's the same message, and it's the same discovery, and so it's bringing us all together if we want to see that we're part of a much bigger system than our mind, who we truly are, has been hijacked. Something's happened to humanity. Forget who we are, forget our cosmic connection to who we really are, isn't it? That big break could have happened in the time of the dissolution of the monasteries, when we were told that Henry VIII was knocking down the monasteries. It could have been a very story. They could have been the energy centers. They could have been a whole different story. You know, these whole stories of Tartaria and the mud floods. Everything's up grabs at the moment in terms of what's happening. But we are charged into different stories that lead to kind of war, crisis, and everything else like that. And then this thing comes in, and what would happen is that, you know, it's like you kind of for a crazy train, it might kind of stay. You know, these ideas are crossing your eyes, and it might plunge the earth into a low vibration at a critical point.
Yeah.
It's like we kind of stay in that space. We can only be a singularity for this whole point. That's why I wrote Laughing Gas, to try and tell you that your soul is like attached to your heart like that. But if you choose to let go of it, get hold of something else, then whatever human state is attached to will be the residing soul of the human. And so you keep your vibration transit. They're going to run all their crazy stories to try and plunge our vibration. You know, and you know, we've seen this coming round and around and around every year, and I can truly tell you if this is going to be the closest flyby, but guys, all the shots coming in is, you know, the shots last year of this thing that Corey Nagley put up, and other people who spend time capturing these shots and getting them out there, showed us these same red. Do you remember that? If I can find Brandon Corey Nagley's channel and just go back to a year ago, it was shots like, see that one, I don't think a recent shot, he's got that 4 weeks ago, but that he'll be showing something of that is basically what we're looking for. Let's go to a year ago. 8 months. Yeah, and these are the shots we were kind of getting. And they were, you know, this is after it's passed. It's past us, but it's been well above us and it's gone over the top. And we just see it as a silhouette. We can't see it when you're like that, when it's between us and the sun. Unless it gets really, really close to the sun, and it is getting close to the sun, but if the light rays hit our atmosphere lights up like a sun in itself. It's our atmosphere that is super bright. If I shine a light and you're facing darkness, you see the bright light darkness around the light, our whole sky lit up bright neon blue. And that is because it's making all this light. We can see beyond that into space unless the object behind is brighter, and that's just very unlikely going to be the case. So this thing looks like crazy lights and what have you, but guys, we're like we're just going to see what happens now. But I've got a funny feeling this is going to be a real critical time. So just big golden rings of light around you. You know, we don't know what's going to happen now, but it's looking like big things are up there. And you know that there's big announcements that K2, biggest asteroid we're going to see in eons, is about to fly by. Everything, all your normal stories, the reinvention of the same thing going round and around and around and around. And we've done this since Galileo's time, since Isaac Newton's time, you know, and we kind of like, just to break this whole story out, to try and break you away from that notion there that you live in a system that is flying along super fast. Your one energetic model that we all have that doesn't work when you apply any of the orbital mechanics of the orbital objects we've seen. We've tried to build models. You can't make any of them work with the current model. give, like, giving the sun movement. We've got to come out of that silly model. It's time, guys. We've got to see the bigger picture. We know what's about to happen. This is going to be a big test on all of us. This is the big fabled valley of darkness that is coming upon us now, and it's just a story they're throwing at us, and we don't have to plunge our vibrations into terror and fear when they blow the whistle. And maybe we may be more protected than you might ever kind of believe, but keep asking for divine help. Keep putting your hands together and dear God, please help me through this time. Keep asking help. Keep asking for help. Keep asking to help you keep your peace. Think of flowers when you're scared. Just try and think of flowers. Even if prayers is going, try and think of daffodils and beautiful flowers in your mind's eye. Try to everything around you to help people around you be calm through this. And breathe through it, and let's just all do the best we can. So much love, so much respect. Thank you so much. Take care for this time. Breathe through it, and let's just all do the best we can. So much love, so much respect.
What is this today?
Take care for this time. People, sorry about that. They just cut the live stream. Sorry about that. They just cut the live stream. So I thought I'd just jump back on and start over there. So apologies about that. It's it's one of those times. It's one of those times where it's very difficult now to Hey, Mr. D. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Sorry about that break. I don't know what I don't know really I don't know what happened there. I'll just let a few of you just jump back on. And sorry about that break. I don't know what and agree. I don't know what happened there. I'll just let a few of you just jump back on. Things out there. Oh, what happened to the yacht row? I've just been I've just been having to do some work on those brands and that sort of stuff to because we've had to get them off this off my girlfriend's land. So it's been a it's been a bit of a process. But I do go down to Majesty. It's been a bit of a mess down there, and I've just not been making that many videos just lately because we're kind of in the middle of that time now. We're just kind of in the middle of it now. You don't know what's going to happen now. Like I say, it's just going to be. You massive CME that's going to occur. It really could be if there was ever a CME. I was just talking before it cut about how we had the big CME that occurred in August 1859, the Carrington event. You know, and you wouldn't have thought there's much electrical items around in that stage, but apparently there really were. Apparently there was so many electrical machines in operation in those days. People died in these electrical machines because the electricity just frazzled them. And I'm of mind that it was a CME when ultimately earthquakes occur, all the lights go out. And I'm of mind the electromagnetic energy that is interfering, especially if we're having a flyby. Hellacious storm in Michigan. Lots of crazy storms, isn't it? Now we're coming into the northern hemisphere. You know, that's what this could really mean. Because if we're seeing massive fault lines like you're seeing Iceland, you're seeing the whole fault line. That whole line is the massive fault line. That's the dividing line between the Eurasian plate and the African plate and the North American plate, the American plate. These are massive things. This is, and it's really high. It's really high. Up in the northern aspect, if that's happening, I imagine that there's very likely a lot of under the ocean fault lines are also they're also going off, and they're also boiling the ocean from underneath. You know, this is now going to start affecting probably the northern hemisphere a lot more. It already is, obviously, with Iceland, but I haven't really got, even though the world's going absolutely crazy, and I'm just kind of watching it all at the moment and not really knowing quite what to do with any of it, not really knowing how to interact with any of it at the moment. You know, it feels so kind of at the moment. And I think I've been so overwhelmed with it for so long, watching it for so long. And also realising that how, you know, we just can't touch it. We just can't touch any of this. It's so walled off behind so many bullshit stories, carbon zero stories and all the rest of it. You know, and friends that are now getting potentially sick from the you know what. And you know, we just can't talk about it. You know, and the kind of like the whole, you know, the problems in this earth just seems so simple to kind of look at, and yet we just walled off behind these walls of belief. Make it very difficult for us to we are protected. Right, so of that mind. He said that niche it's decent. Sounds folding. It's like me. The show is coming. The show is coming. Jeffy! Oh, Jeffy's there, look at that! Yeah, oh, that's so fantastic. We're getting an all-star cast turning up. Nice to see you, Jeff. I've been struggling making videos myself just lately. I've just been I've just been so overwhelmed with everything that's going on. I've just been watching it unfold. You know, and like I say, I see this kind of this July, August, September period as a very kind of like very big part of this cycle.
That's what I thought.
And originally, I didn't have this in my models at all. You know, the original dobbs model, which was all based on a heliocentric model,
August and
but kind of
September is going to be
Nassim Harami's ideas. of the sun instead of moving on an ecliptic plane, kind of moving in like a coil motion, kind of either going north or south, and rather than going up or down, either north or south. But yeah, but it would be north or south. Yeah, because up. North. Rather than out, east or west sort of direction, and that enabled me to kind of have a possibility, a picture on how we could have these long duration flybys, and but with those long duration flybys, when I didn't have anything coming in and around the sun from that object. I don't think I did. And now it's become, because of all the exciting, because of the ability to use some of these new programs and that sort of stuff, and play with some of these kind of animations and put some of these things into action and see them, build a model and run it and see. We've just been able to explore so many more possibilities, and it's all the Skywatchers out there. All these Skywatchers, like 7, but it's just it's the Skywatchers. People are looking at the evidence and moving through their belief systems, and that's what this is all about. We're wading through belief systems at the moment, trying to see what's staring us in the face, even though we just can't believe the blatancy and the level of it. Even now, the reaction from the American government right now to kind of like the hostilities, maybe not hostilities, but kind of hostilities. I mean, this is America turning around saying, "Oh, it's terrible what China is doing for those visits." You think about the NATO kind of drills that are going on at the same time. It's just like double standards, so many double standards, so much intention to make one side or the other pull out the weapons and go to war. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I just think it's going to be saber rally. I just think this is it's so tricky, isn't it? It's just so tricky to see where it's going to go. But yeah, God, I love this guy. Oh, I love you two so much. That was honestly, you speak so much truth, and it's just you give a lot of people permission just to express and just kind of talk. We're also nervous about having opinions one way or the other because we're upset so many different people. It's just becoming this quagmire of stuff, and now it just feels like we're in it. Loads of people have made various decisions through this process, and we're just in this time now, aren't we? We're in this time, but the Mish, I think it was, who said we're protected, and that's what I'm understanding. This is all about. Is that from the outside looking in? It's a very simple process that's happening. From the outside looking in, as in from great intelligence looking into the earth order from far away. It's a very simple process. It's just humanity going from a state of duality into a state of singularity. And it is that simple. That there will be one human and one soul, and absolutely no backseat drivers, no ego, no other noise than that one human. That is what's being given. The problem is that, which is why I wrote Laughing Gas, is who should be given the final choice of which soul should reside in each individual. Who should be given the choice? Should it be God's choice, your highest aspect's choice, your higher self's choice? Should it be your ego choice? Or should it be your choice, your human choice to decide? And when who has to live and die with the consequences of the actions that your humanity ultimately might use. No matter what set of narratives are coming in on an astral level or on a spiritual level, who has to stand in the dock at the end of the day and get judged, who has to live and die with the consequences. And that's what this is really all about, and that is where we are massively protected in our rights to choose. And that's what's being looked after and highly protected through this more than anything else, because this process is a very tonifying process for humanity, even though it's so messy as we go through this massive bottleneck. But there's going to be a lot of arrivals of new souls in this process, and this is not going to be the first time that new souls will come to Earth, by any means. And this process has been going on. I don't think it's been going on nearly as long as we have been led to realise. I'm of the mind that this process that we're in right now, compared to my own research, and these whole ideas of Tartaria and the mud floods, that I can, this idea of 150 Quakers building the Grand Library or whatever in Washington.
Wow.
This massive building, some of the blocks like 20 tons, and yet these Quakers lived supposedly in huts built into the riverbed. And yet, then we find that the actual building goes another 2 stories below ground level. But not only did they build the whole building, but they built it basically below half of it, or a quarter of it below ground. When you look at that, you start throwing stories and you see the same story repeating itself over and over and over again. And then you look at the massive level of archaeological engineering that's gone into those massive buildings. And we see the same story repeating itself that we see with the Grand Pyramids and all these other stories that we just look at. Like the story they're all supposed to believe that the pyramids were built in 20 years by slaves with bronze chisels. 2 million blocks, some of them over 200 tons. It's not even a bad opinion. It's a barbarically stupid opinion that one rock could be moved in a minute, cut and moved in place in a minute to accommodate that ridiculous notion. And we see it.
This man's dream has some spiritual orbs flying around him. He doesn't realise. This man's dream. Wow. He's a very spiritual man. It's not reflections of his camera.
Reoccurring. And then we start looking at all these ideas of Tartaria and that sort of stuff. This whole thing started, for me, and I remind it really started in the 1700s. You think about what's happening. I was going on to that sort of subject when I first started, but you think about what happened in the 1700s. It was, for Britain, it was like, Oliver Twist.
Yeah. And the
Oliver Twist.
and
Charles Dickens, who was thrown into a debtor, the author of Tale of Two Cities, and Oliver Twist, who was thrown into a debtor prison. Like that, and the government said they wanted all their money back now, just like they did in 1930. Anyone who couldn't pay it back, that was in debt, was thrown into a debtor prison. The whole family, kids and all, i.e. Charles Dickens. Every sentence he wrote was written, not like in Perfume, where, that Peter Sushkin, who writes Perfume, one of those amazing books I think I've ever read,
such a short book. Tells his life from birth to death, ironically in the French Revolution, leading up to kind of Bastille Day and all the rest of it. It tells the whole story from the sense of smell. Charles Dickens tells the whole story. Sense of whole class system, everything is all through the eyes of taste, hunger. We don't know because all of these nitrates that have been used to mass manufacture all this food that have taken the population from its discovery in 1850, where the population was not a fraction of what it is now, and then we discovered nitrates and we managed to push the population up to 7 billion. Massive pumping out every field, bumper crops every time, all because of massive fertilizer production from countries like Israel, Norway, and Russia. And much of that is produced, to make nitrates is making very, very low temperatures in massive levels, and takes an enormous amount of energy to split H2 and then put them into this kind of like nitrous fertilizer, ammonia and all that sort of stuff. Fertilizers are also the ingredients for the biggest explosives. So you can see, Britain was a massive exporter and manufacturer of nitrates at one stage. Israel doesn't really export oil. It refines it into the next best thing. And what happens when that currency system comes into question, and that is not allowed to be part of this whole system, because you cannot have a bogus currency system anymore, because everyone's got the same level of power. There's no value on the table, so the only way to give something where there's no value on the table is to have a gun under the table, because you've taken all of the gold, all the value off the table. It's just speculative-based, fear-based money. You only play it with a gun under the table. You have to. The only way it works. And suddenly everyone else has got the same gun. So you have to go all out or have to bring back value back on the table. That's it. That's as complicated as it gets. In our situation right now, other than the complete and utter energy fabrication, which is being driven by the massive production of all this oil to keep all this fertilizer going, to keep the population at 7 billion. Can you see the predicament that we're all looking at if anything was to happen to the Earth?
That's why the push for the solar energy. Yeah. And push for the renewable energy, for heating pumps, rationing the energy supply systems. Could be fitting into all this. As I said, YouTube channel, Dave Dobbs. I'll catch you up later. I'm being hacked, so I'm in the stream now. So what's just hit the sun? This is also Israel News Live. There's no description what's going on. I'm hacking my device as well. East buffering. Go back 2 hours. Okay, we have comets in the skies. I can't talk for too long. Right. This, because I know we'll just end this now.